How's it going, YouTube and all the ISL fans out there? Welcome to another Week 2 matchup. This is the Seattle Serperiors versus the Dallas Victory Stars. And I am here with the coach of the Dallas Victory Stars, my co-host from back in the interviews. You've all heard him before. Xavier, please introduce yourself.
Hi there. I'm who he said.
Alright, this was your Week 2 matchup. Talk about the sets that you brought this week.
Okay, first of all, I knew that physical Victini wasn't going to cut it, so I had to bring special. So I had pretty basic EVs because he had that base 100 Volcarona that I was really scared of. So just 252 attack, 252 speed, timid nature. Zero IVs in attack, because just a little tip to all you players out there. If you're running a special attacker that's not running hidden power, always set your IVs in attack to zero just in case of confusion or foul play. And I had Focus Blast. I had an Expert Belt on it, and I was running Focus Blast, Blue Flare, Energy Ball, Glaciate. Basically, that would allow me to hit like most things on his team. And then I had a Choice Spec Sylveon because he has basically no switch-ins for it once the Scavalier was dead. Nothing on his team would have appreciated that, even the Volcarona.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had a Pokemon that actually Ty recommended to me, which was Assault Vest Mismagus.
I mean,
I yeah.
it definitely has some decent special bulk to it, so that's why running a Sulfast, it can get any hit and then deal a lot of damage out. Because you don't need, like, if you're not running a Nasty Plot set, what else is there really to run except for all four attacking type moves? So why not try a Sulfast?
Yeah, this really worked with my strategy for this match was because Landorus Therian, Kyurem Black, Volcarona, and Mega Diancie put huge offensive pressure on my team. So I needed defensive walls that could not only wall them but kill them. That's like was my main strategy going into this match, and I didn't have something that could do that with Tyranitar, who I originally had planned in that slot, but then you recommended Selfless Mages, and I'm like, that's perfect. That allows me to beat Volcarona with it, so I was like, yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And then next I had an Empoleon, pretty standard, specially defensive. This was my Mega Diancie counter. It could take any hit, power. It could take that Diamond Storm. It could take a Moonblast. It can even take an Earth Power. And it had Flash Cannon, Scald, Stealth Rocks, and Defog. And its other job was Defog because I knew there was a chance he'd bring another dual screens Uxie. And if he set up screens on me and went into like Pure and Black, I'd lose.
Yeah, because nothing would hit that Kieran Black, and it would just wreck your whole entire team.
Yes, that thing was a huge threat. That was the only thing I couldn't come up with a wall counter for. So I kind of just had to rely on offensively taking it down with my checks. Next up, I had my Kyurem. I had to bring Kyurem for racial equality
Oh my
because he
God.
had that black Kyurem.
Oh
That's
my God.
racist. Basically, it's Choice Scarfed, max speed to outspeed a possible Choice Scarf Black Kyurem, and it's just, it puts in huge offensive pressure. It's basically there to, once Diancie's dead, it just drops Dragos.
Just drop
Basically,
that
its
mic.
entire purpose. And then I had a Chestnut, physically defensive, Landorus Therian counter. This thing, Landorus Therian cannot touch it unless it has like hidden power flying or power fly, which is why I had a Koba Berry.
No, yeah, I remember from our week one matchup. That thing is really defensive, and I freaking hate it.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. And it also, I didn't need spikes for this match because I knew I'd have to use the fog once or twice. So I was like, what's the point in hazard stacking? I only had stealth rocks just in case because it would be nice to have them up for Volcarona and Cure Black.
hmm
I didn't really expect to get them up, but there was nothing else I wanted there.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
So I had both Seed Bomb and Drain Punch. Seed Bomb was so that I could do something to the Kabutops. So Kabutops would not sweep me as
Yeah,
long as this thing's around, and neither would Landorus Therian. Earthquake, Stab, Choice Scarf, Earthquake would have been a huge threat to my team. That would have honestly done so much damage to everything.
no, yeah, that's was definitely good planning on your part because that that would not have been fun on your part if you had to deal with a Kabutops in the rain. That would not have been fun.
Yeah, but basically just the offensive pressure I was getting from his team was insane. My only real choice was to try and wall things, and then at the same time use my offensive threats to the best of my abilities.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get into the matchup, shall we?
All right.
So he led off with the Uxie, and you led off with your racial equality, your
Yeah, my Kyurem.
yeah, and got a crit Draco Meteor on it,
Okay,
which
I'd like to say this was the only real instance of Hex during the match.
well, that's good.
Yeah, so it wasn't as bad as some other matches. And I go into Empoleon,
And
because this is why I had Empoleon. Defog.
you got rid of everything he just set
Got rid of
up.
everything that Uxie lived for. He's just up the light screen, and
And then
I get Stealth Rocked
he
up.
goes for Memento, which was definitely like confusing to me of why he did that.
Yeah, and at this point, you may have questioned why I don't go for Defog. That's because I value my Stealth Rocks over him having light screen up.
Hmm.
Now, you may have noticed my entire team is special attackers other than Chestnut, who's not really offensive.
Yeah, and then he just knocked off your Trouble Berry so that
But
he.
the thing is, like, I can live, I think I can deal with it.
Hmm.
I can handle it. Having those Stealth Rocks up to deal with that Volcarona and Cure Black just is so appealing to me.
Which the Volcarona just came in and got hit by the Stealth Rocks and go down to 50%. He was
Hmm.
apparently running even HP, so that sort of hurts him a little bit. And that's when the Fire Blast, which normally
Okay.
would take out a Mismagius, you eat it up to do that Assault Vest.
Yeah, but this is a bulky variant. Yeah, he eats that. And then he's like, he was trying to set up on me here, but I had Power Gem. So I'm like, yeah, die. But then this
Uh,
is the second fire type that Chestnut has killed.
the Leech Seed, yeah, that definitely came through there.
Those are two kills Chestnut shouldn't have gotten him, but it's gotten. Okay, now he goes into this Diancie. And I'm like, no playing around, switch right out into my counter for it, and Empoleon.
Eats up the Diamond Storm just fine, being
Hmm.
especially
And take
defensive
that
one,
just fine, and I know for a fact I can take an Earth Power, and I can
which you did, and
Flash
then
Cannon it.
and the Flash can almost took him out.
It did, but as you'll see in a second, he got a little greedy.
Yeah, he went for another Diamond Storm and
Hmm.
didn't help him out there. So Mega Deontay's down. So it's one of his biggest threats to your team is down.
Yeah, two of his biggest threats to my team are dead, and at this point, I actually knew I was going to win because the combination of Curum's attacks and the fact that it's Choice Scarf,
Hmm.
and I knew his Landorus was leftovers now, so it's like all I have to do is get Curum in a few different times and I win. So I'm looking pretty good at the moment. He U-turns out. Now this was the moment where it was like, oh no, wait, it's not quite yet. Yeah, I just go for Leech Seed. Chestnut just does his thing of Spiky Shield and
Spiky
whatnot.
Shield and find out it's a special attacking Nidoqueen. So
Hmm.
then there's a dog in the background.
Yes, there is. That's inconvenient.
Which
Yeah, basically Miss Magus. Apparently Miss Magus is also good for Neoqueens.
which
I honestly only had it for Volcarona, but apparently just Nidoking didn't appreciate it either. And
no.
I was winning, so I didn't see any reason to not go for the safe play and just Psychic. So yeah.
Yeah, and Minsectic did a decent amount to the
Mhm.
Landorus T. I guess Landorus T has some decent bulk to it, but then
All right, but right here was mind games to the extreme.
he brought in Kieran Black, Ice Beamed your Chestnut, and then used Draco Meteor and just took it out.
Yeah, but the thing is, that Ice Beam right there, like, I was hoping, like, I was so scared. I was like, I wanted to go to Victini, but I was so scared he'd predict that and go for an Earthquake.
Yeah, so
Like, I knew I'd never hear the end of it if Victini just switched in and died instantly. But yeah,
I
at
think that
this
was a
point,
smart
it's just like,
that was a smart play stacking up the Empoleon there, so you can come in without the special attack drop,
yeah,
and
nothing else could take a hit, and I knew if I switched out, I win, because I can just go for Choice Scarf Ice Beams.
mhm. And then that's the end of the match. You win with a 4-0, so you are now at +9 differential with a 2-0 victory for after week two.
Mhm.
That was actually a really impressive win. He didn't really have that many misplays. He got a little greedy with some of his moves. I feel like he could have, if he was able to take out your Empoleon with an Earth Power instead of going for Diamond Storm, you wouldn't have had much check for that. For him to go for the, what was it, the Stone Edge.
Yeah, I would have had to at least sack something off. It would have at least been a 3-0 if he had just killed me there.
Yeah, and then you
And I
never
was
know what could.
actually pretty confident that he was going to go down. I was just going to, go into my Curum. That was my thought process. Like, he's going to kill me. I'll just go into Curum and I'll kill him.
Hmm.
And I'll just move on from there. Blah, blah, blah.
No, and both Sylveon and Victini, I don't think hit the field once this whole entire battle.
No, they didn't, which made me sad because I really wanted to use Choice Spec Sylveon, and looking at my season, this is the matchup that looked best for Choice Spec Sylveon.
And unfortunately, we weren't able to bring it. And then we didn't get to see Special Victini either.
Yeah, Special Victini isn't too crazy and out of this world,
But I mean, like you
but I
said,
did have Focus Blast on that thing,
for
and
the
if I missed with Victory Star,
that would have sucked.
that would suck. That'll make me so upset. So
um,
salty.
but I mean, it. You definitely had a good matchup here. He was able to take out your pretty much your two walls in Empoleon and Chestnut. So if he was able to get around the Serum, that might have been a little bad for you.
Yeah, sadly, Chestnut had to go down. I didn't want him to have to, but I just couldn't risk Victini dying.
No, that
Okay,
makes
I want
sense.
Victini to have a spotless record.
And so far it does. How
It
many kills does
does.
Victini have now?
It's only got one.
So it's
Although that one was against a Tracheon.
yeah, we're not talking about that.
Okay,
Um,
fine. But last statement I really want to make is that I watched the weekly recap with a certain someone hosting, and I mean, I'm just saying the person that they may or may not have predicted to win didn't win.
yes, we'll give me and Burke will give you the credit that we did not believe you would win that match, and
I
uh,
mean, I work best as an underdog.
there you go. I mean, you
That's
played
my element.
you played really well. You sacked off what you need to sack off. You made plays that were you. Let's just say you played safe. You didn't make too many. You didn't make really any over predictions. You didn't really make that too many predictions. You just went for the safe play, and it benefit for you in the end. So,
Honestly, that's what you got to do sometimes, because
hmm
like these matches are almost decided before they even happen based on preparation.
yeah. Uh,
And if there's no reason to get crazy and predict anything unless it's absolutely necessary.
hmm And
Because like if I make a turn one prediction and die, I'm instantly at a disadvantage. That could instantly put me at an advantage, but at the same time, it's just like risk versus reward.
no, yeah, that makes complete sense. And like I said, you didn't really make any over predictions. You kept with the safe plays. And it worked out for you when you got a big 4-0 victory. So,
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll take that.
yep.
I need it.
And so with that, we will head on out of here. We'll see you all in the next video.
All right, bye.
Bye.